YouTube always makes front suspension jobs seem like a Saturday morning job. Unbolt, remove the part, replace, and tighten, done. I mean, the guys don't even get dirty. So maybe it's just me, but reality never matches my expectations, no matter how many videos I watch. So in this video, I want to take a look at what it takes in real life for someone with some experience, but I'm not a mechanic, to do some basic front suspension jobs. And with each job, I'll let you know whether I think it's worth it to try it yourself if you've never done it before. I bought this Honda Jazz, it's a 2012 1.3 Comfort at We Buy Cars for very cheap. And the only two roadworthy relevant issues were the stabilizer bars and the tie rod ends. That's per the DEKRA report. But then when I looked at the photos on the DEKRA report, I noticed that there's a picture of what looks like a lower control arm bush, this part. So I assumed they meant lower control arms instead of the tie rod ends. In this video, I'm gonna let you know whether it was a big struggle, whether I'd recommend you do it yourself or just take it to someone else to do. So we're gonna replace the stabilizer bars, lower control arms, and the tie rod ends. So the first step for all of these jobs is to jack up the car, remove the wheels and put it on jack stands to make sure it's secure. Don't work on the jack. Job number one, the stabilizer bars. So these ball joints at the ends were completely shot. The stabilizer bars themselves were 200 Rand at Midas each, and the job is super simple. You disconnect this nut at the top, and at the bottom you take it out and you put it back in and you torque them up again. For the bottom one, you might have to jack up the wheel slightly just to get it there in its socket. That job was super simple. I think the first one took something like half an hour and the next one 10 minutes. You can definitely do this one yourself. And that already made a big difference and there was less clunking from the front end. Job number one, do it yourself. Job number two were these lower control arms. And to give you an idea how big they are massive and heavy. And because I saw this on the DEKRA photo, I assumed they meant this is shot instead of the tie rod ends. And I didn't do a proper homework and inspect it properly. I just bought these two new ones. They were 1,300 Rand each from a local spare shop. And I replaced them. So these are the old ones. And as you can see, they are still completely fine. So that was not necessary. Anyways, I've got new ones in there now, and this job was a bit more tricky. There's a great video on YouTube on exactly how to do this. It looks much easier than it is. You basically remove those three bolts at the back there, front one there, and don't take it out all the way. I would just crack this one loose, crack those three loose at the bottom there, and then the most difficult part is to get this ball joint here out of that knuckle there. It won't release. It's a tapered fit in there, and I don't have the right tool to do this. So what I ended up doing is just jack up this knuckle, only the knuckle bit, so there's tension on it, and then smack that cast iron knuckle there with a 4-pound hammer, and it's like 5 or 10 hard whacks and then it popped out. But don't try to do that after that bolt is removed. You have to keep tension on this whole thing. Now that took me about 2 hours to get that thing out there. The other side took like 30 minutes because then I knew what to do. Now this one is maybe something that you would not want to do yourself. It's almost not worth the trouble. Some place like Super Quick or Dunlop will probably charge you $500 for labor. You can do it, but it was a lot of swearing and a big mission. Now after battling those massive lower control arms, I really thought that the tie rod ends are going to be super easy. So let's take a look at what it took to replace the tie rod ends and then what happened after. And now for number 3, the tie rod ends, and this is the real issue on the DEKRA report. You can see this joint here. They don't look terrible. They said it was torn. Let's look at the other side. Okay, that one is split. So left hand side is split, right is fine. They bought in a set, I think it was about $600 for both. So I'm just going to remove both, replace them, and then take the car for wheel alignment. You have to do wheel alignment after you do stuff like front suspension jobs, because they might go out, especially tie rod ends, because that is where they adjust them. So let's replace the tie rod ends, and I can show and tell whether this one is difficult. The one thing I suspect is going to be tricky is to maybe get it out here, maybe not, I don't know. Before you start on any suspension parts, just spray them with WD-40 or Q20, because sometimes these nuts get rusted on there. First thing is to remove this lock nut, or just loosen it. So step one, remove this split pin. As hey. That wasn't too difficult. Now the most difficult thing always is to get these things out of the knuckles. If you have the special tool, it's fine, and they're not expensive, but otherwise it's bashing and this is probably the biggest reason why it's easier to take it to someone else to do. It's for that reason. There's always a way, it's just sometimes a bit of swearing. So I've jacked up the nut now, because that has to come out, and I'm going to smack it. So after fighting the ball joint end in the taper for probably about half an hour, I decided stuff it. I'm going to go to Dunlop and just have them replace it. Okay, so all the wheel alignment places, Dunlop and S-Point, were busy. So I went ahead and bought myself this. This is supposed to split the ball joint, like push it out. We'll see. Now the one side came out very easily, but the other side, I took about 10 minutes to get the joint loose. I nearly gave up, but at that point I've already damaged the boot so much that I had to just continue. Yes! Yes. Okay, so I nearly gave up. This thing kept slipping out, and also at one point I had the jaws too wide open, so this would bottom out, the nut would bottom out. But anyways, it's loose, so just don't give up, but you need the right tool. I think without that tool, don't even try it. Anyways, it's out. Now we need to count how many turns it takes to get this out. So that is 1, 12. So it came out like this, and it was 12 and a bit. Okay, so this is obviously the one for this side, and this must be the other side. Don't see anything, so I'm going to assume it's this one. Look how much thinner it is. This is the aftermarket part squip one, and I assume this is the original Honda one. And then just feel if there's any play whatsoever in the track rod. Doesn't look like it, so let's thread this back in. Okay, so here we start. It started, so 12 in, 1, 12. I'm going to put it into the knuckle, and then we'll tighten the lock nut. Okay, so there we have it. I've tightened this castle nut to 43 Newton meters, tightened the lock nut, and that's basically it. The biggest mission was getting the ball joint out of the knuckle, and this tool just makes your life so much easier. So don't even attempt this without this tool. So in the end, the tie rods weren't that big of a deal with the correct tool and using it correctly. So at least I learned a lot. But it did, at this point, already take me about 3 hours just to replace the 2 tie rods. And the YouTube videos are usually only 5 minutes long. So later that day, after getting cleaned up, I usually make a massive mess and I sweat so much. We went to town to grab something to eat, and immediately down the road, I felt something is wrong. It felt like the wheels are going to come off.
What's wrong with your car, dude?
Something seriously wrong.
I thought you fixed it.
I thought so too. Replace the tie rod ends and the car feels like the wheels are going like this. Yo.
I hope you're gonna get home.
I hope I'm not.
Oh,
Frick.
Oh no.
Oh,
We've got some big troubles now. Kan je achterkomen?
Yo. I started tripping.
Okay, I shall stop. I think I'm gonna walk. Okay, so I'm just gonna walk home, I think. You just made me walk all the way back home.
Sorry. Yo.
Is that what you have to say to yourself?
Something is super
Sorry.
dodgy. I don't know. Something is wrong. It's safer to drive on my own. Over a small bump, the steering wheel just started shaking violently and the wheels felt like they're going like this. I almost felt like the wheels are folding in. So I got out, I couldn't really see something, so I nursed the car back home and jacked it up, and I felt the wheels. So I rocked them from 3 and 9 o'clock and also 12 and 6 o'clock, and there were no play at all. I thought maybe I didn't tighten something, or maybe the balls of the tie rods didn't properly seat in the tapers, but everything was super tight, and that baffled my mind. So I think I found the issue why the steering shook wildly from side to side, and it felt like the wheels are going to fold in. If you look closely, this wheel is slightly turned out, and let's go and look at the other side. This one too is slightly turned out. The alignment was so far out, you could actually visibly see the thing cross-eyed or looking actually outwards, which I can't do. The reason for that is I looked at my old footage. The new tie rod ends is slightly shorter than the old ones, so they are pulling the wheels in and pushing them out on the front. So basically the alignment is all out and you can't drive it at all like this. So I'm going to see how close I can get. If I can get it to just be straight, like zero toe in or toe out, I'll be happy, and I'll drive to Dunlop tomorrow and go get the alignment done. Okay, I've adjusted both sides quite a bit, more than a full turn out on each side, but it still looks a little bit towed out. So I'm gonna lock the adjusters, roll it back 5 meters, drive back in straight, and then take a tape measure and see the exact measurements. So to measure the wheels, as always, I can't find the tape measure. So I took this piece of shelving that I have and I marked right there, that little red spot at the edge of the thread, and I'm going to do the same at the other end and then put it in front of the wheel with the same height and see how far we're out. So lined up exactly at the same spot on the front. Let's look at the other side. Ooh, it should be there. I want to make a mark. Wow, that's far out. So basically I need to adjust both sides about a centimeter. I adjusted it 2 more full turns out at each end, and that moved from the 2 outer stripes there to the R and the F there, so rear and front. So I'm still out by roughly a centimeter, I'd say. So I'm gonna roll the car back and in again and remeasure and then do a couple of more turns. What a mission that was, and quite a scare when I drove it and I thought the wheels are going to fold in. So now, fingers crossed, I'm going to take it for a short drive and we'll see. According to my measurements, which is very rough without a tape measure, we have about 2 mils of toe out, which I think is fine. I think the specs is 3 mils, plus or minus. The main thing is I just want the wheels not to fall off. The wheel is slightly turning to the right, that's fine. I'm going to take it for proper wheel alignment. I just want to get to Dunlop safely. Now, before with the toe out more than 20 millimeters, that would have been impossible and unsafe to do. I think it feels fine now. I am super nervous because, yes, it really felt like the wheels are going to fall off. Wow. So, was it worth it to do this myself? For me, it was because of the learning experience. But if you just want to get it done, a tire place will probably charge you between 500 and 1,000 Rand for labor to replace all of these parts and then do the alignment for another 250. And then they take the risk. So if you want a safe car, just let them do it. It's not worth the hassle and the risk if you are not into learning and DIYing on your car, if you don't enjoy the process. For me, I'd love to learn how it works so that if something breaks out there in the middle of nowhere one day, I know where to look and how to deal with it. So for me, the learning experience definitely was worth it. But if you just want to drive from A to B, you want to save some money, just take it to a tire place, let them do the job. At least then if something does go wrong later, it's their risk, it's their fault, they should fix it. Something like a tie rod end, if you forget to insert the split pin and that nut backs out and it comes out, your wheel will turn like this and you'll go off the road. Yes, some jobs maybe. Will I do it again? Yes, I will, because I've learned quite a lot now. Should you do it? It's up to you. If you want to learn, do it for that. But to save money and definitely not to save time, maybe not. And then finally, if you have any tips and saw anything that I did in a very stupid way, please comment below so that everyone watching this video can learn from you. I know there's a lot of people watching here with a lot more experience than I have. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.